I almost did it this week. I almost did it. Yo, shouts out to John. Shouts out to Kadre. I see y'all in the building. Um, Yo, peace, y'all. Welcome to the 6 Degrees podcast, where instead of separation, uh, we choose to explore the ties that bind and focus on those things that keep us all connected. I'm your host, Bel-Ami, and this is episode number 8. We've been here 8 times, y'all, and I feel like it gets better every week. You know, with less and less technical difficulties, knock on wood, or some cheap IKEA wood that I got here. This ain't real oak. This is Oakstein. I don't know, whatever they call a Oakson. You know, IKEA got the funny names. Anyway, y'all. First thing I always do is check in. Temperature, man. What's your temperature today? Man, I can't even begin to give you. I don't know. It's weird because mine today, I think I'm about, at this present moment, I'm at like I don't know. It's like, it's weird. Now maybe I'm like a 86. It's an 86 because I feel like 86 is that temperature where you don't know if you want to be hot or if you don't know you want to be just kind of warm. You know what I'm saying? You can have a good day or you can start to get real hot and start riding up in temperature. And I say that I'm just a bit anxious at the moment for some reason. I like to think it's because our next guest, I have no business being in the same room with him. Yet and still, he's honored me in his life, is making me a part of it. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I just got some weird energy going on. So hopefully tonight's show will help me rid of that space. Yeah, so you know what it is. Yo, we got a bunch of people in the chat. I'm loving it, man. Y'all are getting the picture. Shouts out to John. Shout out to Zavin. We got Tim in the building. Yo, all these people showed up for you, bro. But hey, listen, Zavin, John, Olivia, shouts out to that convo we had yesterday. I needed that conversation. It was right on time. It was right on time. And yo, it's just it was a reconfirmation of alignment, you know? And that's always a nice place to be in, nice space to be in. So yeah, shouts out to y'all for that. Listen, I'm not gonna keep it too heavy right now. I don't want to waste too much time tonight. Oh, if you enjoyed that first video, that was all Errick Lewis, man. My guest tonight. He's insane. He's incredible, and I can't wait for y'all to get to know more about him. And yes, this stream is now officially official because Kadre is in the building. Let me know, what's your temperature? Drop something in the comments. Let us know. Kadre says he's at 70 degrees. Not too hot, not too cold, just right and breezy. Yeah, facts. 70's nice, man. 70's nice. I think Tim dropped one. Tim said 98. Bro, you gotta expound upon that. 98? I've never had a good day at 98. I just haven't. It's just no one's ever like, man, I hope it's 98 degrees today. Although John says, hey, nice temp, Tim. Listen, whatever, man. Some people can coast at 98. That's just not my steez, man. That's why I left Houston, because Houston was 98 all the damn time. But yo, man, this is crazy, man. Listen, check this out. And you know what? I'm not gonna waste any more time. I gotta bring this brother in because people are shouting him out, and I want him to be on here while he, you know, so he can see all of these shout outs that are happening right now. And here we go, y'all. Without any further ado, my brother, the one and only, I like to introduce people who are really good as there's only one. There will only ever be one. The one and only, my brother, Mr. Errick Lewis. What's good, bro?
It's good, y'all.
How you doing,
How's
man?
it going? I'm good.
What's your temperature? What's your temperature today?
Today's been an interesting day. I'm about I would say about maybe like an 89.
80. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you turn up just a little bit volume?
Well. How's that?
A little bit better.
How about that?
Give me some more. You people want to know? Give me some more. You people want to watch? Give me some more.
Is that better?
How's that, y'all? That temperature sound good? I mean, that volume sound good to y'all? Let me know. Oh, it's an echo on Eric. That's because I haven't. That's what it is, bro. That's me. That's my fault. Because remember, I was playing the intro
Word.
of course, playing in stereo. So now there we go. Thank you, Kadre. I appreciate that. Thank you, John. Baller Boy. Listen, everybody was shouting. Listen, there's an echo. There's an echo. Yeah, there's an echo.
Yes,
Sound
sir.
like you got on the vocal. I appreciate everybody knowing what's up and making sure we have a quality broadcast. Um, all right, Eric. You were talking about your temperature. What's your temperature tonight, man? You said
I'm about
I'm
at
about at
89, it's been an interesting one.
okay, 89. Describe that. Tell me about that 89.
You know, it's just like, when things is hot enough. You know what I mean? Today's been a hot enough day. I don't want it to get no hotter.
Dig it. That is perfect. Cause once you get to 90, bro, it just feels different.
Word.
90 is one of them numbers. You see 90 and you like, oh no, I ain't going outside.
Yeah, man.
Um anyway, yo, listen, man. And yes, John says communication is love. And we had that communication going. They let us know that this echo was not popping at all. um,
Facts.
right? If you notice, we twinning today. Check that out.
I know, bro. You was all in my closet.
You just got good taste in clothing, bro.
For real.
You dress well. You dress really well. I can't hear you. Did you say something just now?
Nah, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Maybe are y'all seeing a delay on the video or nah? Let me know. Baller Boy says, yeah, once you go 90, there's no going back.
That's a fact.
John says 90's a whole vibe changer. Yes, absolutely.
That's a
Absolutely.
fact.
Tim knows what's up. Tim's like, yo, I know, love the song, Bel-Ami music. He knows what's up. He knows what this shirt is about. He knows what these clothes is about. Anyway, I'm rambling. First question I always like to ask, or second question rather. And listen, don't mind me throughout the night. I'm really black today. I'm feeling really black, and it's Black History Month, so I'm just gonna do black shit today and
Word.
eat watermelon. And I listen. I
Yeah.
put cinnamon on my watermelon. Look at that. Isn't that a heavenly piece of fruit from the Black
Cinnamon
Jesus?
watermelon.
Listen, oh, mm, just became an ASMR channel that quick. All right, I'm ignorant.
Word.
First question I like to ask: what do you remember about how we met?
Oh man. I remember being at the Groove that night, and I was definitely hearing you sing, and then I was like, man, I should holler at this dude. This dude is nice. And I was like, nah, I'll come back next week and then figure that out. And then when I got ready to walk out of the door, here comes some dude, yo. And that was you hollering at me, bro. So yeah, that was pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, bro, I remember that night. And shouts out to the Groove. Listen, it's so interesting because if you notice, I name every episode about my first interaction with the person, with my guest. But bro, I realized I met so many people at the Groove that I can't name every episode the Groove.
Right.
So if you notice that the name of this episode is The Basement, and we'll get
Yeah.
into that later. But I definitely remember that night at the Groove because, and shouts out to Matt Hartnett who put me on that gig in the first place, and he was my second guest on the Six Degrees podcast. So there's connection there, and we'll talk about that connection with Matt in a little bit. But yeah, man, I remember. There's a portion throughout. I mean, the gumbo is a jam session, and so at some point we change out musicians, and I just remember like a lot of times we get people who are really good. And first of all, New York has the best musicians in the world. I just think personally. Um, and so everywhere you go, people are gonna be killing no matter what. And it's just like certain levels, you know what I'm saying? Certain levels of killingness or killnicity, That's not a word, but it just became one.
Facts.
Um, I know there's a better word for that, but what else? This is how we do it here. And I just remember you got up, and it's just something that happens when you see or when you hear someone playing in a way that, um, especially in a jam session where everybody's trying to get their rocks off for some reason. Um, you can do things and kind of stay in your own pocket, but still like pick your spots, very strategically and very tastefully. And I think you really did that. And it was one of those things like, a lot oftentimes when you're running a jam, you'll hear people play and you'll be like, and you start to strategize, how do I get this person off the stage as politely as possible? You know what I'm saying? Or without being rude, because this vibe is not being maintained. But bro,
Right.
like you killed, man. You killed. And once you got off, I was like, oh man, I hope this dude don't leave before I get a chance to holler at him. And yeah, man. And ever since then, and so when I came over to you, I was like, yo, bro, you killing. Got to get your info. What's your deal? Da 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 da. He was like, man, I was just about to come talk to you. It's like, man, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy night, man. That was actually my first night in New York too. I
Wow.
just flew across country and I was like, man, I think I'm gonna just stay home tonight and just chill.
Yeah.
And then I was like bored. It was boring because I was living in Jersey at the time. And I had nothing to do. I didn't know nobody. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just look online, find the closest jam session.
Yeah.
And I came up to the jam session, and that just started a whole thing that first night. I met mad people that I still rock with today, and just it was just a crazy night, bro.
That's dope. So hold on, you literally just like looked up jam sessions.
Yeah, yep.
Wow.
Good old Google.
Google. Shouts out to Google for making my life better.
Facts, right?
Shouts out to Google for making this happen. Um, that's so interesting. So you talk about you just came across country. Where were you coming from?
At the time, I was actually in Reno.
Mm,
I flew out of Reno because I was touring with this band called Jelly Bread. That I had just at that time I decided to leave that band, and I had to make a decision on whether I was gonna go to Portland, LA, or New York. And those were the three options. And I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just go to New York. Bought my ticket and I was out.
dope. And so when you got here, how did you like? Where were you staying? How'd you find a place to stay?
Oh man, called a friend of mine, Haley Nicewanger, and we did an album together, and album did really well actually. But we did an album together, and she been living here for almost 10 years,
Mm,
and so I hit her up and was like, "Yo, you know some people that's looking for a roommate?" She turned me on to this dude, Igmar. I had no idea who Igmar was. Never heard of this guy. And turns out he was Lauren Hill's music director.
wow.
And
Shouts out to
ever
Igmar. Shouts out
yeah,
to Igmar and the Revive Big Band. I know they're doing a GoFundMe or yeah, I think they're doing like a GoFundMe raising money to record their album. So shouts out to Igmar. So
yeah,
so you go stay with Igmar.
yeah. So I ended up staying with Igmar, and yeah, I just once I got here, we just chopped it up for a little bit, and then the next thing you know, I decided to get out that night. Looked y'all up at the gumbo joint, and went down to the groove, and that's how it happened.
Man, so I'm always intrigued by stories like that because it's just a reminder of how I don't know, just how things work, man. And it can't be nothing but God or whatever you believe, some higher being orchestrating this because there's no way you could have written that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got to go tonight. And it's just always interesting the tiny little things that pushed you out the door that night. You know what I'm saying? And then led to something much bigger.
Word.
Yeah, man. That was a hell of a night. So let's I want to I really want to guide people kind of through our relationship as it blossomed because and you know I've had several people on the show throughout these last 8 weeks, and like all of them have played essential roles in just my creativity and just my life as a musician.
Yeah,
And you know, with the exception of a couple, like none more essential than this one right here that we have. And so you know, and parts of that will be on display tonight. We're gonna walk through a couple things that I think are pretty interesting. But
word.
I do want to find more about like you. How'd you get to this point, right? Because I know once I met you, and you know nowadays, you know we had this conversation last night. IG is like where you go to verify people, right? Like you
Right.
meet somebody, you get their Instagram, and it's like, okay, is this person legit? Do they really do what they say they do, or you know, to what level do they do it? And so I go on, and I'm like, okay, this dude is playing for real. Let me search him on YouTube. Search you on YouTube, and the first video I see is you playing with Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, okay. Now nobody just plays with Stevie, with Steve Land. You know what I'm saying? No one just plays with him. So I was like, I need to find out more about this dude. So tell me, like, how did you get to this point?
Man, growing up in LA with the gospel scene is where I started, and I just, kind of climbed the ranks early. Um, I got like my first real gig was at this church that I grew up in, and I was like 8 years old. They paid me $25 to play on Sunday,
Wow.
and being eight with $25 was felt like $100.
Oh, bro,
As
you
much
can buy
candy you
all the
want to buy.
candy, all the
Yeah,
candy, and even take your little girlfriends out.
right. And so I ended up doing that. And then as I was playing with, we had these church, events and all these other things, the outings or whatever. And then I just started meeting other musicians. And then everybody was like, yo, the Lewis bros. It was me and my twin brother. My twin brother plays keys. And we just started getting all these gigs. We started getting all these calls to do all these gigs. And then we ended up uh, with this record label called Joy and Peace Records.
Mm.
And they was super like hype about having these two young kids. We at that time we had to be like 11, 12,
So
something like that.
were you on bass at this time, and your brother was on keys?
My brother was on keys, but I was on drums. I was
Ah.
a drummer at that time. And then they took us on tour. They took us on these local tours and stuff. And then we ended up, because of those local tours, we ended up getting connected to bigger names. And then I ended up going out on this, huge tour with, Hezekiah Walker and like all these other gospel artists.
Hmm.
Um, I got to meet, like Kurt Carr. Um, and I just did a lot of different things. And then being in the LA scene and being a part of that community was just it was just connection after connection after connection. And then yeah, I after all of that happened, I started touring and gigging all the time. I ended up uh moving to DC, and I was living in DC, and I was working at this studio called Envision World Studios.
Okay.
And then that led to me meeting like Erica Badu.
This was all when you was 8 years old, bro.
Nah,
I'm
nah,
playing
nah,
with
nah. I'm
you.
older now.
Give me
At
some
that
time
point,
to go on.
I kind of just paraphrase. I just, kind of going past some stuff.
That boy skipped all the years. That boy said I
Yeah,
was 8, had $25, took that
yeah,
$25 to some Sour Patch. I moved to
right,
DC.
right. Basically, no, but yeah, I ended up. Well, I guess I can lead into me playing bass. So what happened was my best friend at the time was this dude named Curtis Hines.
Okay.
He was a drummer as well, and me and him would like, you know, play these gigs. We had this gospel group called Redemption, and we would play these gigs, and I'm left-handed, So I had to switch the drums around, and like that would piss everybody off. Like every drummer in the world get mad because it was just like this dude coming in here, he changing my drums. It comes down to the inch for a drummer. When they have they drum set up a certain way, and when you come in there, you mess that up, you just kind of mess up their whole vibe.
Yeah.
And so I used to get cats mad at me all the time. And then we'd be switching between songs. We would play four songs, and two of the songs I'm playing, and two of the songs Kurt playing. And so that would just piss people off. And I got frustrated with it. I was tired of playing drums, lugging all of that gear and hardware bags and all of that. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go buy a bass. I went and bought a bass for like, I think my bass was like $300. It was this bass called DR And 2 months later, I was on the road playing bass with my brother and with that group Redemption.
Bruh, so you hold on, time out. You had never touched bass before?
Nah, I really wanted to play guitar, but I realized there was too many notes to play at one time. So I was like, nah, I'm good. Let me just go to this one
Bruh,
note
hold
at
on,
a
time
time
out.
situation.
So I mean, if you're a musician, you recognize this, but the natural most I'll not say most, but more often than not, if you're a drummer and you play another instrument, it's probably bass because the two they lock in together. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? My chair is hating on me tonight. Funky ass chair. Anyway, bruh, so you picked the bass up, and then 2 months later, you on tour playing bass.
Yeah, my brother would sit with me and like show me each note on he'll play the note on the keyboard, and then I would pick that note up, find it on the bass, and then that's how I learned how to play bass.
Tim says,
It's-
"Wow, yes,
Yeah,
that's a wild thing right there.
yeah,
That's a wild thing." I do want to acknowledge everybody else bumping in the chat. Um, John says, "Twin on keys."
yeah,
I guess they didn't know you had a twin.
yeah. Got a twin.
It's two ugly motherfuckers walking around the world. Now I'm playing
This
with
is a fact.
you. Yo, I just want to hit some of these in the chat. Shout out to my man Eric, real genuine individual who truly cares about the people he associates with. True people eliminate evil. Dig
Wow.
it.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate
Yeah.
that, man.
How much did you pay Baller Boy to say that?
I mean, I slid him a little piece of change, you know what I'm saying?
It's all love. Shouts out, Cherie. I saw you pop in here. Um, appreciate you as always. Erica, here go Erica. Here she comes. Look at y'all wearing the same hoodie. That's cute. LOL. Yo, this chair is pissing me off tonight. But I'm gonna make it through. This chair trying to push me to 87, 88 degrees. My boy
Yeah.
Javal says, fix the damn chair. My bad, bro. Listen. You know what's crazy? I got this chair on sale. And I realized why it was on sale now. Because it wasn't on sale. It was the floor model. And the floor model, if you got a chair and it's the floor model, everybody is sitting in it.
Yep.
I don't know how
Yep.
many butts done been in here,
Yep.
but enough to make the thing not work no more. Oh, my mom popped in. What up, mama?
Oh,
Um,
what's up, ma?
yeah, man. We're gonna be down there to visit you in June, for the Juneteenth festival. Anyway, so you switch, you pick up the bass, you start playing bass. When did you realize, okay, I'm not going back to drums. I'm just gonna stay right here at bass.
Because I didn't have to carry that hardware bag.
Ah,
That was it for me, bro. It was less work, and so I was just like, yeah, I'm with this, And then I realized too, the more I played bass, the better I got on drums.
mm,
And so I was like, oh, I can like I'm understanding music better because I had a different responsibility. And so yeah, and then I just fell in love with playing bass. I love the challenge of it.
that's interesting, man. And you said a lot there because playing another instrument gave you a better understanding of where you started, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's when I think about how you play, um, you're one of the best people with no ego on stage that I've met. And because I feel like at any given time, you could take over the show, like no matter what setting you're in. I feel like at any given point, this can be the Errick Lewis show. But um, one thing I appreciate about you and how you play is that like you understand where you fit. And I think it's probably because you started one place and found yourself somewhere else. But I know you play all the other instruments as well. So like how does your experience on those things factor into how you play your main instrument as well?
Well, I mean, I feel like because of bass being the medium between, melodic and rhythmic, it's like the perfect medium. And so like I get a really good understanding of, what I have to do on the melodic side, which helps me like, when it comes to like keyboard players and like guitar players and even horn players. Like I'm super picky about musicians. That's one thing that most people who know me, they know that I'm extremely picky about people that I want to play with. And that's because like I feel like there's a certain level of respect that you have to have for the space of the music and the space that the instrument sits in. And so like you know, if I'm playing bass and you a keyboard player and you playing the bass notes, I got an attitude. I'm like, yo, what's the point in me playing? You playing my notes. You in my space, you know? And so I try to just not deal with musicians that play bass in the left hand. I mean,
And right now I'm thinking of somebody in particular who will remain nameless just because I've seen the ego have to come out where you have to be like, yo, this is who the fuck I am. And I need you to fall in line.
Man, yo, Zavin to tell you he's seen it. Um, but it's just been, situations where, it's just like, yo, let's play together and enjoy what we doing
Mm.
versus like, oh, I'm trying not to say some ill stuff, but
Nah,
uh,
bro, listen,
you
listen,
know,
listen, listen. No, no, time out, time out, time out, time out. Maybe I didn't make it very clear. I don't, yeah, and yes, don't say anything ill that you'll have to come back later and have to, make amends for it. But you can be ignorant. You be ignorant as you want to be here.
well, word. Well, the thing for me is just I just don't want to put, it's not like I'm not trying to when I'm playing with people, I don't want to be the dude that's like, nigga, I'm the best nigga in the room and y'all can't talk to me at all. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But I run into so many musicians that do that and they ain't even close to the level that they want to be at. Yeah, you could be a great player, but you have no experience. Or you can be a horrible player and have all of the experience and, you still got this crazy ego.
Yeah,
And I try not to like do that. Like, but it is what it is. I don't care who I play with. I'm down to play with anybody on any level. I just love playing. Period.
yeah.
So I just
Nah,
enjoy.
man, it definitely shows. And beyond loving playing, bro, like you are incredible musician. And I found it interesting, and I kind of want to pivot a bit because um, our relationship really built on us creating together.
Yeah.
And that's how we really got close. And I find it interesting too because my first guest on here, I wouldn't have even been in New York without him like pushing me to like and challenging me to really do my own solo work. And that's my boy Ike or Ikechi Ojire, who was my first guest, bass player who started on drums,
Mm,
produced my first project.
mm,
You, bass player who started on drums, produced my second project. Clearly, I have a type.
mm.
I have a type. And I think it's also because when I'm creating, I hear the bass first. Like That's the first thing I hear. And it, and drums. So like I align myself with people who I guess who do that and who do that at a very high level. Um, so yeah, I just thought that was an interesting little thing here. Um, Really quickly too, man. So you've been in New York, and we'll touch more on that later. But I want you to give people a chance to understand like kind of what kind of things you got going on right now. Shouts out to, oh man, we got the homies in here. Q&A band just popped in here. What up? What up? Listen, Q&A, go support them, man. They're killing dope ass music. Um, yo, you got some things that you're working on now, and I know you've got several artists that you've really been working with, and I know you've got some things that you're trying to start up, and then some other things that you're doing. I want to really get to like the well-rounded Errick Lewis, right? You know what I'm saying? Not just the bass side of you, but
Yeah.
the part of the business side and then the other areas that you're involved in. So kind of talk about that.
Well, I started
Start wherever you want. Start wherever you want.
I started a record label,
Okay.
X5 Records, and I'm I'm really fortunate, I got these musicians that I've been able to like work with, and be in these great situations with. Um, right now, we're getting ready to release another song for Melissa Jones.
Shouts
Melissa.
out to Melissa. I saw her in here in the comments.
Yeah, Melissa is one of the dopest artists that I know. Not only is she a dope artist, she's really a really good writer, and she's just super talented. Like, she sent me music that, you know when a when a artist comes to you and is like, "Yo, listen to this music." Most of the time, I'm like, "Oh man, this about to be whack,"
It's sad that
you
that's the
know.
default.
Yeah, I had a guy named Bel-Ami that sent me some music, and that shit was pretty whack. Uh,
Yo,
no,
but you know what? Time out. Real talk. Real talk. We're gonna get into some of that in a little bit because I promised people a long time ago on the Zoom calls when we were releasing the project. I was like, yo, one day I will let y'all hear how these things started out. So I'm just gonna drop that there for y'all. Stay tuned. I promise. Listen, and also let me just do this real quick. Thank you all for tuning in and staying tuned in. We got like 18 people in the stream right now across all platforms. Listen, wherever you are, I just would like to remind you um, to follow, like, and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, just hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I come out with a new video. And this video that you're watching right there has just been released. I think that was like Fine Love or one of the tunes. Um, but I got some other stuff that I'm previewing tonight towards the end of the show. Or maybe we'll do it in the middle. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're gonna do it at some point during the show to debut some of this music that my boy Eric is on. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Oh, shouts out my brother Dotan, the one and only. He was my guest last week, episode 7. Um, yo, man, all these connections in here, loving it.
word.
But yeah, y'all will get to hear some of that stuff. It's quite embarrassing for me, but hopefully you get a laugh out of it, and you'll get to see the greatness that is uh my brother right here, Errick Lewis. So you talked about Melissa, and Melissa says she's all right, yo. She dibbles and dabbles.
She
Shut
doing her
up.
thing. But yeah, we getting ready to release her second single, and that's gonna be coming out real soon. It's
What was the
really
first
dope.
single?
The first single was "Make It Last."
Make It Last. Yo, it's dope. They got a video out for it too.
Yeah,
Make sure y'all spin that. It's available on all platforms, right?
right. Yeah, yeah. So we're doing the second single, which is "Without You," and it's a really dope song. I had L. She played strings on there. And Melissa, it's just pretty much me, L, and Melissa on this one.
Hmm.
and it's really killing tune, yo. It's really dope. And then I also have right now uh another person that's in the chat right now, Tim,
Okay.
working on a song with him, and this joint is sick. It's a really different type of song, and that's one thing about me as a producer and what I'm trying to do with XY Records is kind of create a different, thing, making bringing, live instrumentation back into music, and just using the platform that I have to like, and the knowledge that I have of music in general to like make it where the artists that I work with kind of bridge the gap, because like it's getting
Hmm.
so far away from like live instrumentation in a lot of ways that I'm really big on it because I'm a musician first. But back to Tim's joint is really dope. I can't wait to like really get that joint finished. Um,
Shouts
and
out to
then
Tim. We saw him in the
yeah.
chat. Appreciate you joining in, bro, and being a participant. And Melissa says, "My twin, I love him. Period." See, there you go. That's how you know it's real.
Period.
Um,
Yeah, so yeah, it's been really dope. Trying to build this studio up right now. Actually looking at Zavin's crib, actually turning his
dope.
crib into the studio, event space, doing a bunch of different things. And yeah, it's been great. I do that. So that's X Vibe Records is happening. Um, and then I'm also a chef. You know, I'm
Yes,
also I'm also a photographer. You know, all of these different things. But yeah, it's been really a great thing, and this chef thing is really starting to take off as well. So it's been good.
dope. So for all of this, listen, I know we just talked about a lot, but for all of this, make sure you follow X Vibe Records, X Vibe Visual, and Chefs underscore Experience on IG for sure. Maybe some other social media, but definitely follow on IG, and you'll get the full scope of what this brother does. It's incredible. Listen, bruh, I've had your food, and listen, quick story. So, if you notice this episode is titled "The Basement," and I'm sure you know why it's titled "The Basement," but I want to give people some context here. So, when I met Eric, and then we'll move into this. This will be a perfect segue into this next section, where we can play some of these original records,
Oh.
and and do like a side by side with what they eventually became, because good Lord Jesus, we know they've come a mighty long way, as the church would say.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, so really quick, so we met. Then I think you came to my crib,
yeah.
um, and this was before I had any of this studio. This is before the place even felt moved in. You know what I'm saying? We were still listen. If you've been to New York, if you've lived in New York ever, it takes, unless you move here with a gang of dough, it takes you like 2 years to get the furniture in your apartment that you really want, because you're paying so much in rent that everything goes towards survival. Um, anyway, so Eric came in here. I think I might have had like this little IKEA desk and my old interface that I was using, and pulled up some Logic sessions, and he heard them and was like, "Yo, man, okay, we can work with this." And so fast forward, and we'll come back to that in a second. So I go and kick it with you. I think this was during I was teaching at the time. So my week off that we have, the winter break in February, you was like, "Yo, just come to the crib." And I was like, "How long can I stay?" You was like, just stay." I was like, "Cool, dope." Go to the crib, and that's where we started recording. And I remember, I don't know if it was the first day, probably like the first day. Um, we were waiting on Obed to arrive. We didn't have a drummer at the time, so we was just like chilling. We went to go get some food, and at the house you were staying, like there was like a little grocery store, maybe about half a mile down the road. And so me, you, and Bobby, we're walking down there, and we just start to grab some stuff. I don't even know what we were trying. I don't. What did we get? We got like chips and stuff.
Yeah, I don't
And so
remember.
I remember I had like some salsa, some like paste picante sauce. You know what I'm saying? Just a little in the bottle. And I brought it in. Eric looked at me. He was like, "Nigga, what's that?" I was like, "It's salsa." He was like, "Nah, man, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. I'm gonna make some from scratch." I was like, "From scratch, nigga? You gonna make some salsa?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "What do you need?" So you go get the ingredients. And the whole way back, I'm like, "Okay, this dude is just extra as fuck." Um, you want to make some salsa? I'm thinking to myself, good thing I just like tortilla chips on their own, because I'm finna eat all these tortilla chips on their own with some guac. I think I got some guacamole. Guacamole was trash too. Um, but we get back to the crib, and bro, we go in the kitchen. We sitting there, and Eric gets over to the sink and he starts going through all the ingredients. Chop, 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 chop. Next thing I know, it was like some majestic shit. It was like it came down. You know how it's like, oh, and bruh, I was like, oh, oh shit, this nigga, he might know what he doing. And needless to say, we smashed it. And from that point, I was convinced. I was like, okay, this dude knows what he's talking about, just in general. Um, but that's experience number one that I've had with the chef that is Errick Lewis, chef's experience. And then the second was, after that point, I was like, okay, this brother knows what he's doing. He just blew my mind with some damn salsa and and then some guac from scratch. And then so I was like, yo, man, can you cook for my anniversary? And I think this was our 2-year anniversary at the time.
Yeah,
Uh, and he was like, cool, whatever. So I went, got the stuff, and it was kind of like a last minute mission because I'm not the best planner in the world. And you came to the crib, and you met me at where was it, at Whole Foods and at Barclays, like Barclays Atlantic Station, not
yeah.
station, Atlantic Center. Anyway, handed you off the stuff, gave you my keys, and I was like, I was gonna go get Malika, and I was gonna distract her and do something else, and then just kind of like be in touch with you like when the food is ready. And so I think we just ended up being out super late that night, or a really
Yeah.
long time. You had plenty of time. And but not once did you say, okay, what do you have in the house? You was just like, I figured out when I get there. Bro, when I get back, so I think I got what, some tuna or salmon. I got you
It
some
was
salmon.
salmon. Yeah,
It
it
was
was
some
salmon.
salmon. And I get back, and it's like this perfectly cooked salmon with like this homemade dressing and like some homemade topping on top of the. I was like, he just literally went and looked through all the shelves and whipped some shit up together. And it was incredible. A memory that I will always keep forever. We talk about this. I think I've yet to top that. The only time that I'll be able to top that anniversary dinner is if you come cook again. Um,
Word.
So yeah, chef's experience. If I can't give any other recommendation, is look, trust me, take my word for it. It's well worth the money, and I'm the homie, and it was still worth the money. Yes, I paid for my brother to do his work. We should all support each other in that way. Um,
Facts.
but yeah, man, chef's experience, and I know you've done some other stuff because I've seen you. Didn't you just do something at Sims joint?
Yeah, that house party though. We just did. So we did a Valentine's brunch. I did there for Melissa's release on Valentine's Day for Make It Last, and that was really dope. I made these crazy. It was like I made a rose out of potatoes basically, and
Hmm?
it was like potatoes and egg, and yeah, everybody loved it. It was really dope. Everything was good. The music was dope. The food was good. So, we just had a good time. And I did another one there as well where I did like a stir fry with salmon um that night. Then another night there as well. So, yeah.
Dope, dope. All right, so here we go, man. Getting back to the basement. We talked about the basement, and if my stuff will cooperate, I'll be able to share this stuff with y'all. I would like to take another second to remind you that wherever you are, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe, whatever platform you may be on. It's important. It helps us keep the channel going. Um, Also, if you like these hoodies that you see right here that I have on, that Eric has on as well, because we matching and we just on the same wavelength. Um, you can go to BelAmiMusic.com, grab you one, help support, man, so we can keep this channel going, keep shows like this happening, and make more music. And yeah, that's really all of this is. I'm gonna try to open this right quick, and prayerfully this will work. And we're gonna go in order. We're gonna go in order of the songs as they appear on the album, because I want y'all to kind of hear where we started. Remember, you know how they had those memes, like how it started and then how it's going. That's what this is gonna be. So uh I'm gonna share this really quickly. Right. I need a drum roll. Where we at? Where we at? Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. All right, here we go. I'm about to share this screen. Share screen. Application window. Boom. All right. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see that. Okay. This is a session. What session is this? Sun Moon. Sun Moon. And if you have not yet, if you have not heard the record, um, my album is called Music, Muse, and in parentheses, IC. This record was totally produced by Errick Lewis. He was the overseer. He made sure all of this shit was right. If I had a question on something, I'm like, yo, E, how does this work? How does this sound? Everything from the rooter to the tutor. But this is where I really like appreciate and noticed your genius. And I'm going to turn your mic off just while we play this
Mm-hmm.
so that I can play it in stereo for the people. Um, Here is the original version of Sun Moon. Now, this is the closest uh, of all of them that were like, okay, this one is okay. Um, but the others are just really not good. But we'll see. I'll let y'all decide. So as I'm playing through these, give me like and I take no offense at all. Um, which version you like the best? The first version or the second version? I know I shouldn't even say that. Everybody's gonna like the second version because the first version is whack. Here we go. This was uh, the demo to Sun Moon. Here we go.
Lift me up higher than the mountains. Shine your light, keep me on your pathway. Kiss my life, leave your breath upon me. Ooh, you never ever go away. Yeah. Take my hand, lead me through your valleys. Where you flow, bless me with a sip. Oh, fill me up, pour out on the people. Lift them up higher in the night. When I close my eyes, all I see is you, and I awake a constant dream of.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. But this is how we ended up. Here is Sun Moon from the record.
Shine your light. eyes, all I see is you. Then I awake, a constant dream of you. I'm enchanted.
Anyway, cool. I'm not gonna play through the whole thing. Yo, really quick, Eric, I want to know from you, how do we get from point A to point, like how did, like, yeah, I just want to know your thoughts on that trend, on that, because you really took it from where it was to where it is.
Well, it was crazy because like trying to figure out what needed to be where and what to keep that you had of the original idea, and then what to like kind of take a whole different direction. When that first groove, just the doom 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 doom
Mm-hmm.
doom 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 doom. I just wanted to keep that because that was like the meat of the song, you know what I mean, and it
Yeah.
already went with what you already had going on. Because I actually did like that version of it originally,
Mhm.
and I didn't really want to redo it honestly, but since you insisted,
So
um,
here's the thing, because I just heard myself beatboxing and was just like, Melissa says all the development of this song. Tim said it was lit. Perfect. Hey, listen, that's nice. First version, Kadre says first version wasn't bad. There will be no final version without the groundwork laid for the first. Listen, that's a word right there,
that's
bro.
a fact. That's 100% fact right there.
That's a word. But so you wanted to keep that first part, because I remember, look, the conversation in the room was, "Oh, you should just put it on the album like that." And I was like, "Fuck no," for lack of another word. But that's how I felt. And I was like, "Nah, y'all about to play this," and but still, it had places to go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that whole turn, that whole uh, da da ba da do da ba ba dun dun ba ba do. That's all you, man. Like so, like yeah, like where do you, like how do you determine what goes where? And when
Well,
you
I
hear something as basic as that, do you hear
well,
that?
yeah, I took some of the stuff that you were doing, when you were beatboxing, and then also just what I was hearing in the moment. Cause like I remember that day, it was me, I think it was me, Bobby, and Obed. We were there before you got there. And we decided to work on just the verses of that song. And so we sat there, and it was dope because Obed started, this is when I found out Obed was like a real musician, like
Mm,
there's a thing with drummers, it's like some of the drummers don't know anything about chords or notes or anything. Obed was like, yo, yeah, that's B flat, whatever, whatever. And I was like, yo, who's this dude, And so what happened was we were sitting there fooling around with the chords and coming up with ideas, and there were certain rhythms and certain things that you did beatboxing that I wanted to keep, but then we had to make the song feel like it was going somewhere. And so that's, we just sat there for a few hours before you got there and got that done. And by the time you got there, we're like, yo, check this out. What do you think of this? And then that was it. Yeah.
yeah, man, that was a very special time, man. Very special.
Word.
I really enjoy it. And I remember that day too, because that was the day when I didn't know at that point Obed had a master's in like a master's in music and
Yeah.
performance, or I forget what it was, or composition. I don't remember. But I was like, oh, this dude is like heavy, heavy, heavy. We already knew he was
Yeah.
heavy, but just when he brought that component to it, it just like solidified. Oh, yeah, this is where it's at. This
Yeah.
is where it's at. All right, you ready for the next one?
Word.
Listen, I appreciate y'all that, for understanding that, yes, these are demos, and I guess people didn't think it was so bad. I need to be more confident with my ideas. I was totally just like, "I- this is not it. I need to give this to people who are amazing at what they do, and y'all took it to another level. All right, here's the next song, and this is the I should do this one last. No, I'm gonna do this one now. This was the first song we ever recorded together. But this is the skeleton that Eric heard when he came to my apartment in December of 2017. And Yeah, so this is what you heard.
You made me.
Hold on. Let me put this in stereo so people can hear. Give me just a second, y'all. Cause Dre, I'm thinking about you, bro. When I'm putting, I know how you feel about that. Gotta make sure you get it the way you need it. All right, here we go. This is the first version of Raindrops, y'all.
You made me better. You give me pleasure. I love you whether good or bad weather. In the middle of a cold, I'll be your sweater, sweater. In the middle of a storm, have my umbrella. In the middle of a cold, I'll be your sweater, sweater. In the middle of a storm, have my umbrella. Raindrops for your my call. 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 Sha-la-la-la-la-la.
Cool. Raindrops. What you got to say about that one? He's just gonna laugh. That's how.
Uh, man, it was cool, bro. It just needed work.
It just needed
That's
work.
all
All
it
right,
was.
here we go. Here's the final version of Raindrops. Yes, ooh. Melissa say ooh. The shalalalas. They been there. They was part of the
They
original
been
idea.
there, son.
All right, here we go. Here is so that's where we started, and this is how it's going.
You make me better. You give me pleasure. I'll love you whether good or bad weather. Yeah, yeah. In the middle of a cold, I'll give you sweater. In the middle of a rain, take my umbrella. Ella, Ella. In the middle of a cold, I'll give you sweater. In the middle of a storm, take my umbrella. Raindrops for your mind. Call raindrops for your mind. Call raindrops for your mind. Call raindrops for your mind. You make me better. I've never ever no felt.
All right, let me fix the audio so we can get you back in here, bro. So it seems as if The people love what you did with Raindrops. Tim says fire. Daniel said that's the vibe. Kadre, okay, Kadre took it to another level. Come through eargasms. Yes. Hey, bruh, listen. However you get it, make sure you get it. Um, dope. Listen, make sure somebody gets this to a Spotify playlist. And Coco Blossom says, "Love this." Yo, so talk to me. How do we get from that first little cheesy, uh, really popcorny version of Raindrops to the sexy joint?
um, the thing about that was just trying to create the emotion behind the song. You know, the song
Mm,
is "Raindrops Fall, You're My All, My Call," and like it's basically, you know, it's first of all, it's just like a sexy kind of thing. You know what I mean? With
yeah,
because you talking to a lady, you know, depending on who it is, they could be talking to whoever they want. But in your case, you're talking to the lady, and you want to bring out certain characters in the songs and create space in some way.
mm,
What was interesting about that song was you gave me the bass line and the chords. The only thing that truly played the chords, like everything did play the right chords, but only thing that was consistently playing those chords was the keyboard. Everything else was open. And like I feel like I didn't really even play a straight solid bass line throughout that whole song.
you didn't.
I was kind of all over the place, just doing certain things at certain times to create a different energy. And so yeah, we added the strings. We tried a bunch of different things to come up with that little section. Shout out to my man Miles though. He was the one who
Yes.
played keys on that. But yeah, that song was really more about creating space and delivering that message than it was, oh, let's just play this, however we, planned out. We actually did that in one take actually. If you
Yeah,
remember that. That was the one take joint. That was the first time we just counted it off, played it, hit record, and that was it.
yeah, man.
Left.
That was absolutely nuts too. By the way,
Yeah.
that in case you don't know, and I'm glad Eric's here to verify this because that was that's the first song we sat down together and played. Or you, Bobby, Obed. Um, we brought Miles in afterwards, but like when Obed first came, and like within the first 10 minutes of him being in the room and us like talking, it was like, okay, let's push play. I played the song one time, that idea, and it went from y'all heard the idea and then y'all played that. And I was like, this is nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. One take, man. One take.
One take.
All right, here's the last one I want to do. And oh man, we've been on here for an hour and 10 already. Listen, thank you for sticking around with us, y'all. I do want to remind you, whatever platform you're on, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon so you can be notified whenever I have new content come out. Yeah. All right, here we go. This is the last one that I want to share, and it's because this is at any given point between Raindrops and this song, it's like my favorites of the whole album. And yeah. You'll hear it in a second. But I really just love how y'all took this and just really went nuts with it. All right, so this one is Healing. Here we go.
Yeah, yeah, Listen. I might sometimes get a feeling in the night. Might need a little warmth from your light. You've been gone too far out of sight, and I do be missing your touch. Girl, it's something I've been needing so much. You got a nigga going crazy and such. Make a nigga fall in love with every little single thing you do. When I get that feeling I need some of your healing power, baby. So when I get that feeling I need some of your healing power, baby. I might call you up in the middle of the night, pull up on you if you say it's alright. Push the middle till it's spilling to your river, baby. Swimming in your river, baby. Said it's something I've been needing so much. Got a nigga going crazy and such. Make a nigga give away his everything. Chance to be with you. When I get that feeling I need some of your healing power, baby. Yeah.
All right, that's enough. I can't listen to that no more. I can't listen to that anymore. Listen, I was like, yo, boop a doo doo, ba doo ba doo ba doo boop ba doo ba doo boo boo. That's all I could come up with, man. I do what I can. I'm not the genius. I'm not the genius. I have the ideas, some of them, but I let the geniuses be the geniuses. All right, and so that's that. And from that, once again, I just push play on that. And then these Negroes come with this. If this wants to open up, right? Sorry about that, experiencing a bit of technical difficulty. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that dead air. All right, hold on. Let me change this so you can hear this and like it's supposed to be heard. All right, there we go. I get the sound right. I'm muting you, Eric, just so I can play this. All right, here we go. Here's Healing. You heard the first one. I played it in a room, and then this is what they came up with. Can y'all hear that? Give me a thumbs up if that's the volume is right. Somebody, anybody in the chat. Cool. Thank you, Kadre.
Sometimes get a feeling in the night. Might need a little warmth from your light. You've been gone too far out of sight, and I do be missing your touch. Girl, it's something I've been needing so much. You got a nigga going crazy and such. Make a nigga fall in love with every little single thing you do. And when I get that feeling I need some of your healing power, baby. Yeah. And when I get that feeling I need some of your healing, I might call you up in the middle of the night, pull up on you if you say it's alright. Push the middle till it's spilling to your river, baby. Swimming in your river, your touch, girl, it's something I've been needing so much. You got a nigga talking crazy and such. Make a nigga give away his everything. A chance to be with you. Yeah. And when I get that feeling I need, my own healing power, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Listen, y'all. I wanna fast forward to one of my favorite points of this song. So give me a second, cause I wanna highlight this brother, Eric, for just being ignorant with his bass. I think it's like, all right, Eric, gotta bring you back, bro. I'm
Yo.
sorry, y'all. I'm sorry we listened to so much of that. I usually wouldn't want to play so much of that, but you don't understand what I feel for that relationship I have with that song. Is just it's something else. Listen, and I see y'all in the chat. Oh, yo, I forgot about that. Um, Melissa says harmonies are dope as fuck. That's the hip swear song. LOL. Come on, horns. And of course, on that bass solo, Melissa says, Ignite. Let's go. And this is funny right here. If you were on the release party, if you were at the release party, and Bobby, we had Bobby on here talking about what he did at the end with all those guitar effects, and we call it the swirly swoop. Yes, Cherie. Cherie, she knows. She a day one. She OG. The swirly swoop. John says all the ignorant bass lines. When you get other bass players to like your bass playing, you playing the hell out of that bass, bro.
Man, I'm trying, bro.
Shut up, man. You
Just
doing more than
trying.
trying. Tim says it's the Hammond for him.
Yeah,
Kadre just
Hammond.
says yes. And John, of course, come on, Obed. Obed, first of all, shouts out to Obed Calvier.
Man, Obed's the man.
He's not watching right now, but I'm sure he will be. Um, Once I send this to him, be like, you need to watch this. And John says, this track was filth ridden. That is the best compliment I've ever heard about it. That's the highest compliment you can pay to a musician about their music.
Yeah.
This track was filth ridden. Talk to me about how you go from that first iteration of healing to what we just heard.
I remember uh when I went to your crib that day and you played that for me. I think that was the first one you played for me. It was that one and Ginger and Time.
Oh, I forgot about Ginger and Time, which did not make the album, but
Right.
we should, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
And that was the first one you played for me and I was like, bro, I should just walk out right now, go home. Because it was just the keyboard bass thing that you had going, and then the organ that was on there was. I was just like, bro, this is crazy. And then I remember, I think it was I had you just play just the vocals,
Mm,
and then I was like able to really kind of hear what it could be. you know. And I basically still took the same bass line. I just changed how it was delivered, you know, when we
Mhm.
were in the room. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's more about creating a certain feel. And we talked so much about, you know, how you wanted everything to sound, how you wanted to approach all of this stuff. And you mentioned, you know, like a D'Angelo ish kind of vibe and like, you know, all of this stuff. And so that was what you know, was trying to reach. I was trying to, you know, not D'Angelo, not one of his producers, but, you know, I love his music. And so I definitely took some influences and went back and listened to a bunch of that stuff to try to come up with the way that we wanted to feel for that. And we also talked and played through that a couple times at the crib in my basement when we were recording that. And it just turned out to be that was what it was, you know?
Bro, it
And I
turned
think,
out great.
yeah, I think what made that stick to was at the end when Obed and I were just going back and forth, you know, in that little crazy little groove thing. I was like, bro, we can't get rid of that, bro. We gotta keep that.
I think that's one of the really beautiful things. And so healing, and I've mentioned this several times, but healing and raindrops. Healing was 7 minutes and 3 seconds, and or 7:41 something. One of them was like almost 8 minutes. The other is like just over seven. And I was like, man, the whole time I'm like, how am I gonna make this fit on an album? And I was like, no, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping all of it because it was just so it just without the end, you don't. I think the full expression, right? And as a vocalist, people are gonna buy the project because I'm the vocalist, but I can't. Like I said, I had that really, really, really horrible organ in my idea. So like the full extent of my ability to create was what I played you from Jump Street. And then once I took that and handed it over to people who knew it, who are experts at what they do on their instrument and could be geniuses in their own space, like that creation became a lot bigger than it was. And so I it was on me to and if you notice at every stage I always ask, do you feel like you're represented well on
Yeah,
this? And like that's an essential piece to this because this is as much your offering as it is mine.
right,
And like it's just when I think about songs like Healing and Raindrops, like the expression, the full expression of those songs comes in giving the musicians a chance to like express healing on this. How does healing resonate with them? Well, you hear it in the last 2 minutes when there's no vocals there and you're still captivated. You know what I'm saying? Because this music itself is healing in a way. And I just, man, I'm forever indebted to you for just your vision on that, man, and
word.
just being like, yo, keep it all, and not being afraid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I think we vibe well in that regard. That I think we do this for other purposes. You know what I'm saying? This is not for clout. We would like to
yeah,
be recognized, but at the end of the day, we do it because this is how we breathe. You know,
right,
and you want it.
yeah,
Hey, bruh, this is your full breath. Why shorten it?
right, right.
And at
Yeah,
the end, bro,
I
like that
agree.
was just crazy. Ah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that whole record was crazy. Just the approach to everything was crazy. It was a lot of stuff where there was a lot of moments like when I moved to the Bronx and you had to come down and we were cutting vocals and working on the arrangements of all the vocals and all of that stuff. And there was times where I was just like, bro, you gotta like work on this. Like go to the crib, figure out what you want to do. There was like a
Yeah.
little bit of reluctancy and like you were just like, I don't know, bruh. And then eventually you came around to it and like became a part of the song. And it's just, man, I love everything that we ended up doing. The final product is just amazing. Period.
Yeah, man. Yo, and that's a big part of it too, man. You pushed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
You pushed the hell out of me. And yeah, I just I don't know why I was receptive to it. I knew it was from love. That's why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because we rock so tight just off of creation. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
as our relationship grew, and I could see, oh, this is my bro right here, like for real, for real.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, yo, this dude is telling me to think about first of all, healing. All the music was done. The rest of the year and a half was spent me trying to fill in, okay, what belongs in this space? And there was so much space. And like, you don't understand how many times I was like, I could just cut it short. I cut it short and be done with this mug. But there's so much in healing that comes after the verse that was just like, I just had to live with it. And if you're out here watching this and you're a musician, specifically a songwriter or vocalist, and if you do both and write your own music, and there are times when the music seems bigger than your ability to create, understand it's not. You just got to grow into it. That takes time.
It does. And
That takes time.
that's one of the issues come across a lot is a lot of musicians want to rush. They want to hurry up and get through stuff. And
Mm,
it's just like, yo, like, yeah, you can get through it and have, a record that's just regular. But if you want to have something that is affecting people and like affects you in a certain way, and it
yeah,
has like a certain, like the way you feel about healing, the emotion that you show behind it is because of all of the work that you put into it. And if you don't do that, bro, it's just gonna be trash. And I always tell people that I struggle with that with every artist that I work with. And it's just like, yo, if you just want to love the music and you want this song to be timeless, then spend some time on it. If you want to just try to get a quick little fix, then go ahead and put it out at your own risk.
yeah. Tell me this: how do you decide who you want to work with?
Talent, straight
Mm,
up. Like, you don't got to be the best for me to want to work with you, but you got to be able, you got to have something that's unique and something that is like, dang, this person can really like do something with this,
yeah,
And yeah, like that's it for me. I don't need you to be a superstar, because you could. I mean, you look at people, back way back when, some of the women, Aretha Franklin, she wasn't, you know, tight body and this, that, and the third. She was heavy.
yeah,
It doesn't. The look isn't everything. What it is your skill for me. I'm not interested in being famous for what I do. I'm interested in changing somebody's life. I'm interested
mm,
in giving somebody an opportunity that they haven't had. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have some sort of skill somewhere for me to be like, all right, I'm gonna work with you. And there's times where I decide to work with somebody, and then it's like, nope, this was not a good idea.
yeah,
I should just chalk this up, you know. And
yeah. You gotta leave space for, you know, to correct poor decisions
yeah,
sometimes, which happens. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It happens. But and listen, I see in the comments too. Tim says, "Can we hear the demo to music?" I'm gonna try to find it really quickly. Um, I'm gonna try to find it really, really quickly. Um, in that time, Eric, I want you to just kind of like give us like a list of people. And because we're 6 Degrees podcast, what I'm trying to do here is I eventually want to build out like a physical representation of who we've all been in contact, who we've all worked with. And I know you've worked with Matt, who was my guest on episode number 2. You've worked with Lindsay, who was my
Lindsay,
guest on episode number 4. Shouts out to Lindsay.
Dotan.
Worked with Dotan, who was my guest on episode number 7. So like, um, who are some people you worked with that you just been like, wow, I'm working with this person? And then that's the first part. And then the second part, I want to know, who is somebody who you want to work with, um, who may give you that same feeling. And we can put them on our physical board and we're going to draw some connections eventually. But I really want people to know where you've been, who you've been in contact with, so they know how close they are to certain people. Maybe there's an artist they want to work with. And yeah, just give us those two.
You mean as far as like the local artists?
Anybody, could be anybody, local, international, whatever, on any scale, bro. We're not going to limit ourselves. We're taking the ceiling off.
Well, you know, as far as big artists, you know, Stevie Wonder, Beyonce, Erica Badu, Talib Kweli,
These are
Moses.
people you've worked with or want to work
Yeah, that I've worked with.
with.
Um,
This dude.
um, Usher, a bunch of the musicians that are around them. You know, Aaron Spears, Kern Bradley. You know, all of these, you know, musicians. Thomas Pridgeon. Um, the list is crazy. But as far as people that, you know, most people know and can really reach and touch all the time is, of course, you know, Melissa Jones, Tim Victor, uh, of course, Bel-Ami.
Come on now.
um, I
I
got
heard
a lot
you
of people
good.
like Simone that I've been working with lately, a lot. Zavin I've been working with lately, a lot. Um, who else is around that I've just been really just working with? John. John came through, played some bass with me at the crib. We need to do that again. Um, let's see who else. Another dude that people sleeping on right now is Dom,
Hmm.
young drummer. Dom is
Shouts out to
probably,
Dom.
he
Yes.
might be one of the dopest drummers out here. He's still young. He has a lot to learn, but he's young. Then the other drummer, Daniel Drum, that dude is nuts. Crazy drummer. That man is sick. Um, Idris, Idris, hands down,
Shouts out
might be the
to
best
Idris.
keyboard player in New York City right now, and
Yeah.
nobody really knows about it. The dude can just sit and create something out of the blue or reharmonize something on the spot, and it'd be something crazy that you would never expect. Um, so you know, it's just there's a ton of these musicians that are here. You know, trying to think of who I want to work with that I haven't worked with in this city so far. I really don't know a lot of people in this city like that. I'm
Okay.
still learning to getting to know people. I'm sure it's somebody that's out there. Oh, another one. Donnie.
Shouts out to
Donnie
Donnie. Yes.
Donnie Nicole. Yo, for those of you that don't know who she is, she's a really dope singer. Really, really, really dope singer. Um, she's working on a lot of stuff and she's just amazing. She can her range is outrageous. Um, let me see who else. I don't know. I don't know. Can't really say who it is that I want to like work with specifically at this moment because all of the people that I wanted to work with, I got the opportunity to work with
Mm.
in some form. You know, I was able to play for Prince. You know, I was able to play with all these great names, and I was lucky. You know, being a dude from Compton, getting some opportunities. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's been a good look. It's been
Facts.
a real good
Facts.
look.
Yo, so while Eric was talking, I was trying to low key find the demo to music, but I could not find it. But if you just make sure, and I've mentioned this once already, wherever you're watching this, just make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification icon. And when I do play the demo for music, I might even do like a whole session. I might go live one day and just do a whole like, how it started, how it's going, type episode. And unfortunately, we can't get to the last part I wanted to get to. Um, but I did want to share um, a couple things with you guys, and one in particular that, and I decided to switch this episode up a bit just because I have Eric on here, who is like the best bass player that I know, right? That I can personally call on. Anyway, like incredible. I wanted to show, and this is the reason I wanted to kind of debut this. This video is not going to come out until tomorrow, but if you are watching right now, you are privy to it ahead of time. And so I do want to give people a chance to uh, take in this. This is the latest edition of the foreplay. If you've been paying attention, uh, and these are some of the, I've actually had Dotan on here. This is him on guitar right now. He was my guest last week. Dotan here, Errick Lewis on bass. In the back is Dom, who he was talking about, on drums. And over here on the right, or on the very far right of your screen, is Shireen, and she was playing keys. This is a session that we did at Astoria Soundworks, and I kind of just want to close it off there. But before I do, and before I debut that, Eric, is there anything else you want to leave the people with? We've talked about what did we talk about? We said you can follow Eric on all platforms at Errick Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you follow as well at uh, X Vibe Records, X Vibe Visual for photography. If you need any photography done, incredible photographer. Make sure you head over to X Vibe Visual and subscribe. Follow him on that. Latest single that he put out, that he produced, Melissa Jones, Make It Last. Go cop that. There's a video available as well. So much stuff in the works. And make sure you follow X Vibe Records. Listen, I work on X Vibe Records as well. This is where it's at. I'm telling you, this is the future of music. Anything you want to leave the people with, bro?
No, you said it all.
Oh,
Just
okay, my bad. I was supposed to
support.
say that,
Just
right?
just support it all, yo. That's all it is. Just help me out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, bro, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Um, and actually, I'm gonna let you comment on this. No, we're gonna take it out. We're gonna take it out. I gotta cut it. I gotta cut it. Cut it. I'll be wanting to stay on here forever, but I gotta remember some people are watching this or listening to this audio too, and I don't want it to be too long because I like to give them, the majority of everything that goes on. So one more time, thank you all. I appreciate it. And also shouts out, and I forgot to say this before. Um, there's a couple ways that you can support. Follow, like, subscribe. You can also support here on Venmo at Bel-Ami_music or Cash App. Thank you, Cherie. Just saw Cherie just blessed us with the Cash App. BelAmiMusic. Listen, it helps keep the channel going. If you can't give monetarily, you can give by pushing like, by commenting, as many of you have so far, and by subscribing and hitting that notification icon. We got goals here. Make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go over to Twitch as well and subscribe or follow on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you come over to YouTube and like and subscribe and all of that stuff. Run these numbers up, man. We trying to make stuff happen this year. 2020 was long as hell. 2021, we trying to get all the way to the top. But with that said, listen, this is the 6 Degrees podcast where there we go. I was trying to click on that one. I'm getting this together slowly but surely. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all. Follow at 6D Podcast on all your social media. And okay, that's the last thing I'm gonna say. Follow at 6D Podcast on your social media. We're on Facebook as well. But this is a 6 Degrees podcast where instead of separation, we explore the ties that bind and focus on those things that keep us all connected. My guest tonight was the one and only my brother, Mr. Errick Lewis. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for all you do and for all you've done and what you continue to do in this industry, and just for being exceptional. Y'all stick around. We're about to tune into this video. It's the final video of the February foreplay. It's video number 4. It is My Desire. I know some of y'all are happy. I've had some people ask me where can they get My Desire since it's not on record. This is the only recorded version that I have, the way that I would like it. I know a lot of people watched it on So Far, but this is like
Yo, what
how,
up, bro?
how I envision
Thanks,
this
man.
to
Shit,
be.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Uh, man, you totally MD this one to the heavens, bro. To the heavens. Appreciate you, man. All right, here we go. Without further ado, um, My Desire.
I took off my shades just to look straight into ya. No longer blinded by the light, it purifies my eyes. So used to hiding, aperture closing. Still there's this thing I can't deny. No reason I should try. It's that I love you. Oh, it's that I love you. Oh, it's that I love you, baby. Yeah. It's that I love you. See, I love her deeply. She brings me joy, joy everlasting. Joy that no one has ever before. She gives me peace and she loves me strong. Oh, I'll be her shelter whenever there's a storm for us, 'cause she loves me like no other has ever loved a man. I would give her everything long as she gets back to me. We will love each other tight, and we will love each other close. We will love each other till we get the most that we can inside this love affair. She is my everything, everything I ever need. She makes me feel like I'm Bel-Ami on the inside. She gives me peace. I love her forever. She is my queen. I'll give her my ring. She'll love me and I'll make her sing my songs. And she will sing my songs as she sleeps. Yes, she will sing my songs as she sleeps. She's the only one I desire. Babe, let's keep it steady, baby. Don't let this love, don't let it get too heavy, baby. Oh, let's just love and keep it steady, baby. Don't let this love, don't let it get too heavy, baby. 'Cause we only come this way once in a while. May never feel this way again in our lives. See, I don't know how it started, but I know I don't want it to end. And if blinded from the beginning, I still find my love again. 'Cause she feels like peace, she feels like laughter, she feels like tears with happiness after. And I appreciate her so.
Yo, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Listen, and I know I said I was gonna be done, but I realized I forgot an essential piece of this show. It's an essential piece, and that is the Q&A portion, question and answer portion. And I always have people come in. My bad, E. It's all love, bro. I be forgetting. Like I said, my energy was a little bit off at the beginning. Maybe it's because I usually have everything listed in a row in order how I'm gonna do it. And I didn't do that this time. Maybe that's what it was. And I missed that portion. I forgot to tell y'all people earlier. And I know some people have gone. I apologize if I didn't offer you the opportunity because this show does not happen without you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining in. And I have one person in my chat. And thank you to the person who texted me and reminded me, hey, I haven't done Q&A yet. I'm like, okay, yes, your show is right. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. I wanted to play that because Errick's solo on that was just, it did something to my heart. And so if you want to jump backstage VIP section and talk to myself or Errick face to face, you can click that link that I just dropped wherever whatever platform you're viewing this on. That link is available. Click that link and you'll pop up back here. Only thing that I ask is that you don't get me banned. So don't be naked. Complete. No nipples. Nipples get you banned. And you can join the chat backstage if you want by clicking that link. Thank you, Kadre, for reminding them. And of course, right on time, I got my brother Kadre back here, and I know he wants to holler at you, E. So I'm gonna let you guys have it. Kadre, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's
Man.
yeah, man. Y'all, y'all another week, y'all kill it, man. So
Hey, man,
yeah.
we trying, bro. We trying.
Oh yeah. So Eric, I heard that you work with a couple of my favorites. And
Of course.
did I hear the name Prince in there somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about that one, man.
Um. Well, Prince is Prince. You know, he's just a really unique person. May he rest in peace.
Yeah,
The thing about Prince was, you know, he's a musician, and
yeah,
he knows all his material,
yes.
and he could play it better than you can.
Yep.
And
I've heard a lot of stories like that.
for him to, you know, have you just be a part of anything is enough, just, you know, to make you, you know, lose yourself.
Yeah. Oh
Um
yeah.
but yeah, he was just amazing. And so he was really particular about certain things
Mm.
that happen. When you play with him,
Yeah.
certain. He was concerned about the inflections that I use when I play, or the tone of the bass that I used. He was really, really particular. Um,
Cool.
but yeah,
What
he was amazing.
what projects did you work with him on,
I
or
I
like what
didn't I
shows?
didn't work on a project. I just played live.
Man, that is awesome, man. That is
Wish
awesome.
I could have got on a project.
So yeah, and then I heard you did some work for Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, Stevie. So the first thing I did with Stevie was I played with Mike Phillips.
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah,
Mike Phillips' wedding,
yeah,
and Stevie was there, and
yeah.
the band was crazy because it was Karen Briggs,
Hmm.
Stevie Wonder, of course, Mike Phillips,
Yeah,
me. I forgot who was on drums. I think Tyrone Hendricks was on drums.
yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty dope. But
That
yeah,
dude Mike
definitely.
Phillips, man. Mike Phillips is awesome, man. I saw him when he toured with Prince on the musicology tour.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. So like, okay, so you have other artists on your roster and all of that.
Well, yeah, just like I said, Melissa Jones and Tim Victor,
Hmm.
Bel-Ami.
Yeah.
Um, I also work with this girl named Natalie Naboa. She
Okay.
I'm working with her,
Okay.
finishing her joint now, and yeah, that's it for now. I'm trying to
Man.
build it up and just come up with trying to find the right people.
Yeah. Cool. Man, when you talked about you playing bass and then somebody else in the band playing the bass part on another instrument, I'm like, I understand it. I went through it. I used to play for a Baptist church.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I used to play bass. I would play bass at the Baptist church, and the organist would play the bass parts on the
I don't.
on the foot pedal.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, like,
yeah. I mean, it depends on who's playing, right? Because like
yeah,
I know, like my brother,
yeah,
he'd play the organ and play the bass notes as well, but he would be playing chords with his feet,
yeah,
on the organ, and then playing chords up top too.
yeah,
And he would never be in the way. He wouldn't actually be playing the root notes that I need to play.
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So he would
This,
just be filling out the chord.
yeah, this person was playing the root notes that
That's
that
the
I was
worst.
struggling to play.
Yeah, that's the
And
worst. I
yeah,
stopped playing. I'm that dude. I just
yeah,
stop playing and watch. I'm like,
yeah,
ain't no need for me here. You know,
yeah,
you might as well
definitely.
just go ahead and play for yourself. I'm
Yeah,
good.
I can attest to that. I've seen you stop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because like
I would.
it would be too much.
Yeah.
It'd be like overbearing and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now like now my homeboy Philip, he's a drummer. And one thing he told me as far as like playing the bass and everything, he doesn't play bass, but he's musically inclined.
Mm-hmm.
And so what he would tell me is, okay, listen to what the drummer is doing and base your rhythm around that on bass,
Yeah.
and you pretty much be in lockstep with one another. That's the foundation and all.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing, like I was saying before,
Yeah.
my belief in being a bass player is being the medium between rhythmic and melodic. So
Yes.
my rhythms are based on what the drummer's doing to try
Yeah.
to enhance what he's doing, but then melodically, I'm trying to make sure I play the right notes as far as the chords. Or, I mean, honestly, when you're the bass player, you kind of the boss, so you could change the chord whenever you want to by
Yeah.
based on whatever notes you play. But
Yeah.
it's all in knowing when, where, and how to
Yeah.
do. And you know what I'm saying? So like I try to be really picky about, what I do. And I have my go-to things that I do. If you listen to me play a lot, you would be like, "Oh yeah, he did that. on the other song. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, look, when I heard that bass solo on My Desire, I was like, damn it, you better play that bass, boy.
appreciate it, man.
Bruh, I was like, bruh, you better play that bass. What
Yeah.
Megan Trainor say? She said it's all about the bass, about the bass.
Facts, facts.
Yeah.
Hey, man, thank you for tuning in, bro.
Yes,
Uh,
thank you.
Always much love, and
Yes.
can't wait till we get Eric's coming down with me when we come to Houston in June for the Juneteenth festival, for Missouri City Juneteenth Festival.
That
Uh,
will likely be the first public event that I'll attend.
Look at that, man. We bring them out.
Word.
Appreciate
Yeah.
you, Ray.
Yes, sir.
All right,
All right.
yeah, man. Had to get that in, man. I have to let people in. Look, this show is nothing without you guys. And one more time, shouts out to my brother Errick Lewis, the one and only Errick Lewis. Thank you, man. Love you. And yeah, man. Peace and hair grease
All right, bro.
and all that stuff. Um, one more time, y'all. 6 Degrees Podcast. We signing out.
Peace.